Hello and welcome to Quantum Harmony Home Summit, Season 12. I'm Helen O'Reilly and I will be your host. And I have such a beautiful guest today. We're discussing prosperity, abundance, beauty. And I have this very beautiful woman, Ashana Lobody, is a very gifted intuitive who has brought her work through the singing bowls, through the crystal bowls. Her music has been shared and heard by millions and offers an unparalleled fusion of artistic beauty and healing with the celestial sound of crystal bowls. What I find is that it lifts us instantly. These bowls can help to reduce chronic pain and stress, quiet the mind, and amplify your relationship with your soul to accelerate spiritual awakening. Creator of the Crystal Bowl Mastery Program for Healing Practitioners, Ashana can be found in the link below, also Facebook, Instagram, and at soundofashana.com. Welcome, Ashana. I'm so honored to have you here with us today.
Thank you, Helena. It's just my joy and my delight to be with you today and everybody else.
Yes, and it's one of the main points of this summit, of course, is opening our hearts to prosperity and abundance, and also releasing all that isn't that in our life. And one of the aspects and the greatest joys in my life is sound. And it's why we do what we do. We love it. It's really simple. But I'm curious how the crystal bowls can help supercharge our abundance, but also provide the bridge and the gateway to let go of everything that's blocking that abundance.
That is such a wonderful question.
Oh,
I was thinking, contemplating for the last few days, kind of getting ready for our time together today. And what I was meditating on was, what is it inside people that keeps them in a state of resistance to receiving that which they desire, whether that's more financial support, assistance, prosperity, whether it's health, whether it's creativity, whether it's a relationship, whether it's just a sense of peace and peace of mind. And what came to me was, when we feel like we're in a state of lack, and we do the Abraham Hicks and the law of attraction, it's like, okay, we're going to picture, we're going to feel it, we kind of go, and I love Abraham, by the way. So, and we focus so intently, so strongly on that which we desire, that which we want. It's like, oh, I'm in a state of distress because I just lost my job, or I want a new job, or I'm not in a relationship. I want to be in a relationship. My health isn't the way it wants to be. I want to be healthy. And we focus intently on that. And there is a part of that process, and I certainly experienced this myself, so I'm speaking from personal experience, where instead of it just being a welcoming, it might move into, and tell me how this feels in your universe, a place where you feel like you're grasping, you're clutching, you're reaching, you're going like this energetically to what you want, and you got to hold on that vision. I'm going to see that new job. I'm going to see that new health. I want to see my new boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever it is. And there is this tension that becomes part of the process. And that tension, I feel, in no small part, contributes to the resistance that we actually push away what we want because we're so desperate for it, or we don't believe we can have it. And so we're at cross purposes for what it is that we want to create in our lives. And where do the bowls come into this? Because bowls and healing music and healing frequencies give us the opportunity in a very, very accelerated fashion of just letting go. We have this place when we hear these amazing pure tone sound frequencies, when they just walk us in, the mind just almost instantaneously begins to just slow down. We begin to slow down. Our natural state of the expanded self and our connection with our soul and our divine purpose, there's room for that now. There's room for that to come in. And the more and more we entrain to these kinds of frequencies in our life, the more we get comfortable with being in this space. Inside this space, we can find that place of receiving, where it doesn't feel like an active thing that you have to put on your to-do list.
I love that.
I've got to receive. I need to open myself to receiving. And it's like the mind telling the body and the soul, I have to receive. And the soul's like going, it's really not that hard. All you gotta do is just relax. So
Open the door.
open the door. And so we, inside that beautiful, and I do this because it's so beautiful, inside this beautiful state of just relaxation and expansion, we can find that place inside of ourselves where there's room for inspiration. There's room for our intuition to come in. There's room for new possibilities. So instead of clutching and clawing our way to prosperity, we actually do what seems so contrary to that process. We simply just go, okay, I'm going to relax. I'm going to relax into abundance. I'm going to relax into prosperity. And inside that state, that beautiful, expanded, very feminine, energetically very feminine state of being, we'll receive our inspiration, our next step, and based on that, we do have to take action. It's not all about floating. It is about taking the next step, and that next step might be, okay, you need to call so-and-so. My next step, it was so funny yesterday, it was really funny. I had 3 people mention your name to me in the course of a week.
Oh.
Seriously, 3 people, one of my students and 2 other people. And I said, oh my God, so and long story short, it was like a little thing that you do that I really wasn't aware of and I wasn't thinking of, and I was like, I need to talk to Helen about that. It's like, and I was just relaxed enough and open and watching the synchronicities, but then you take action. I say, okay, I'm going to write Helena an email and we'll set up a time to talk. So the next step might be, oh, I need to do some research on this job. Oh, I need to bring a crystal bowl into my life. If you do, I'm happy to help you. Or oh, I need to research something. I need to go see this practitioner or this coach, or go back to school, or ask for a raise, or anything that comes in. And it comes out of this state so much easier,
So beautifully said. I actually feel myself lifting higher and higher and higher. And this is why we do what we do, Ashana, is that we were so, like, I'm getting complete goosebumps. We were so impacted positively by frequency and sound that it became, it definitely, without a doubt, even from childhood, it replaced any value of, I want to say this correctly, the joy that I would derive from, and I was a classical pianist and a dancer, but the joy that I would derive from those things was so much greater than some other things. And this is so this sense overcoming the scarcity, which I think we have to be careful that we don't make that into a struggle. Sound and frequency, when they come into your consciousness, when they infiltrate your consciousness, they elevate to the extent where certainly scarcity is not real. Certainly struggle is not real. And certainly fear is not real. So this is the power of even what Ashana just did in a few minutes completely shifted the state of every listener, and in a very effortless way. And in this state, this is where you imagine your future. So how did you reimagine your future to be in this realm, sort of like a goddess of sound doing miracles through frequency is the way I would perceive you. So how did you see this? How did you see yourself through to step onto this bridge of transformation through sound, of changing the trajectory through sound?
I think I would have to say in the simplest and shortest way possible.
Okay.
I didn't realize when I first started that this is where I was going to end up.
I love that.
All I did, and it's continuously evolving to this day. So what I did was I followed the breadcrumbs. And that's why when we were just doing this little sort of sonic meditation just a few minutes ago, it's like go into that state, and then your knowingness will guide you to make that phone call. I can track back, very specific.
I love that.
Take this course, do this, buy this. Somebody called me, here's your first bowl, buy the bowl, do this, buy some more, do this, make some music, here's the song, here are the lyrics. It was just like, go to this class, met my producer. I mean, it was just like, I just walked like this. My husband, my husband, he's a native Hawaiian healer, and he has had one of his mentors very early on in his development said that and correct me if I'm wrong, honey, because he's right there, if I'm misquoting this, but I love this. And that awakening is kind of like driving in a snowstorm, in a blizzard, at 10 miles an hour, and you can only see like 10 feet in front of you with the windshield wipers going like this, and you go like there. I'm like there, and I'm like there, and I'm like there. And that's how it felt to me. So where I find myself now is such a miracle. It's a miracle of following the breadcrumbs. Okay.
I love that. It's exactly my experience. It wasn't, where I am today, but it was just exactly that. It was do this and that, and it is, and this is the beauty of the sound that you're sharing, Ashana, is that it's first about going into that state. the high state and the receptive state, which is probably somewhere around theta, is my guess, because I went instantly with you. So do you see that when this clarity comes and this inspiration comes, this is a signal from the soul or the self to move? And one of the issues so when people are experiencing like they're being cut off from their prosperity or abundance, do you feel that they did not align with this vibration and then follow the actions? Is that how you have perceived people that are getting blocked at this point?
No, I actually don't, because
Okay,
I feel like we're all in a learning process. And so so much of what I've been through in my life, I don't believe that we came into this life to have everything be perfect, smooth, and easy. We're amazing manifestors, and here, I want to do this, here, I'm going to do that, okay, I'm just going to envision this.
I'm going to fly now.
I'm going to fly now. I don't think it's like that. We come in with our cellular memory of the samskaras that we've held on a soul level, and that we came here to learn about, to shift, to transmute. And some of those samskaras can be lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes old. And they're very, very well embedded in the soul and cellular memory. And so we are presented with our challenges. We are presented with our resistance. So instead of seeing our resistance as an adversary, we have the opportunity to work and be with our resistance, to bring it closer to us. And I can't even describe it. It's like what I want to say, I can't believe I'm saying this, but fall in love with your resistance.
Oh,
because
I love
that resistance is just waiting to be embraced so it can let go, so it can become part of you, so it can be held and nuzzled and nurtured, so that it doesn't have to be graspy, it doesn't have to be angry, it doesn't have to be defensive anymore. We acknowledge the defensiveness, we acknowledge the anger, we acknowledge the resistance, we acknowledge the pain, and then we give an opportunity to transcend that. We say, from this wise woman that I am now, we don't have to hold on to that anymore.
Oh, I love that. I love that, because the resistance, so there's a lot of discussion in this particular summit on scarcity, overcoming the scarcity program, which almost sounds like a struggle the way I said it, but it is about, it's a dance, engaging, accepting the flow of the resistance so that we can bring in the frequency that shifts that resistance, which is very easy now, Ashana, and also really easy when you have these alchemical tools that you have. So would you say that frequency is one of the quickest ways, or the way to move beyond the human ego?
Well, I don't feel like my ego is something I need to move beyond.
Okay, good. Well, give me some new language then.
Because that's my conditioned mind, and it again, it's part of me. It's like if I resist it and I'm making it wrong, and not that you were doing that or implying that, but so much of our language around ego can be such that we shame it, or we're guilty about it. Oh, you're just in your ego. I'm just in my ego. It's like, oh my goodness. Well, of course, I'm a human being. That's part of who I am. That's part of my
in the body. It has an ego.
You know,
to
I
remember.
have days when I feel terrible. I have days when I feel guilty, mad, and annoying, and that's all part of me. So can I be inside a place? Can I touch that place? How do I access that
Mm.
place inside of me where I can come back into a heart-centered coherence that allows me to accept all of myself and where I am. And the minute I do that, that guilt, that shame, that resistance, that anger, that it softens. It literally begins to shift its
No.
position
Oh,
inside my consciousness. It's no longer at the forefront. My heart's love may be bringing it closer, so it doesn't need to act out like that in that moment. And I love that. That's that approach. And it's not even an approach that I've been thinking about. It's just what I'm observing happening as I work with more heart coherence, as I work with more vibrational frequency, as I work with shifting my mindset. This is what I notice is happening inside of myself. That beautiful egoic mind that has done amazing to get me where I am and keep me safe and all of those things. It's shifting its position in my life.
ah,
And I love that. And to answer your question about frequency, it really is, in my experience so far.
so far.
2 weeks from now, I may say something different. But when we have a dominant frequency, we entrain. That's the law of physics. We entrain to that frequency. And when you apply intention, and I'll talk about this a lot in my book that just came out. But when we apply intention to higher vibrational frequency, this is where our healing begins.
I love
Said that beautifully. Intention plus frequency equals healing. And when we are in an experience of a dominant vibration, it will help, and we are entrained by that vibration. Our focus shifts so much more easily.
Oh, yes.
Right? So now we're turning that formidable mind and our formidable consciousness, and we're turning it like this and going, oh, I'm going to focus on beauty. I'm going to focus on expansion. I'm going to focus on peace. And the minute we do that, it's like, our partner here, our resistance, our anger, our suffering, it's position shifts. And so when that position shifts and peace becomes more dominant, expansion becomes more dominant, a sense of abundance and well-being becomes more dominant, then we attract, because like attracts like. That becomes more and more and more our natural resonance. This is what comes in more and more into our lives. And all we got to do is just open our eyes and pay attention, see what comes in, and keep shifting our focus. And these instruments and the therapy heart, they're so beautiful for this, because they can, for anyone, become partners in training us to higher vibrational frequencies of love, of peace, of well-being, contentment, ease.
Beautifully said. So the frequencies actually are able to bypass, they can melt the scarcity, the feeling, some of the limiting. By their very nature, frequencies can change the vibration, change your vibration, the vibration of your field, and melt off. It's a very different approach than this struggle or very mind. Many of the approaches that exist today in the world of healing are very mind. They're very mentally oriented. if I mentally understand this intellectually, I can change it, and so on. And it does imply and does create somewhat of a struggle because you never really change through the mind. You actually change through the frequency and the energy frequency. So when you're applying frequencies to someone, so your process, do you determine how do you feel or determine into what bowl would be the most transformational or the most healing or the most uplifting for a client? How do you make your choice?
Well, I do it both for client and for audiences, right?
Okay, right, because you do a lot of concerts.
There's a lot of big work and audiences, and of course a lot of recordings. So on a larger scale, as opposed to just doing one-on-one work, which is just a small part of my work. The greater part of my work is in bigger fields, and so but it's actually remarkably the same when you think about it. So if I were working one-on-one with somebody, which I do to help them find the right bowls that are right for them in their lives, or when I work with my crystal ball mastery students and we go into places where we're talking about their resistance, we're meeting that, kind of head on and feeling that and looking at that. So when we're in that space, there's conversation. This is how I do it. There's conversation with them. And it's sacred conversation. So it's not, Ashana's thinking mind talking to them. I'm making sure that there's the link up for me and for my student or my client. So we're in sacred space. We're in sacred conversation. And then there is this place of, what is it you're feeling? And what is the resonance of that note? Sometimes I literally will go through bowl sounds to help them identify that one note where they just go,
the letting go.
Whole being just like lights up like a little bit of a Christmas tree. So sometimes it's like that. Sometimes for me, it is this knowingness, where I'm listening to them, talking to them, and I just go, oh, this bowl, this bowl, this bowl, this alchemy is going to, possibly be really amazing for you. And more often than not, because the team is talking and presenting here. And that's very much what I do inside recording process, inside, but when I prep for today, I have 100 bowls in my room, right? Can I play them all?
Oh, beautiful.
Right? Yeah, here they all are, the family, and there's a whole bunch behind here.
Oh my goodness, there's more behind the cosmic curtain.
And so for the last few days, I've just been asking, who's coming, who's playing. And even up to last night, I had a whole set out there, and I woke up this morning and I went, no, we need to change this, and this. Oh. I just made this quick shift I think I added 2 more bowls and took away 1. And it was like, I looked at everybody and it was like they're vibrating. Look at them. How are they not? They're just going like this.
They are vibrating. I can feel it all the way from here. I forget where you are.
I know. And this is like the energy. And I couldn't tell you why. I just know that this is the energy for today. And it was the same with the harp. I had a whole other different harp picked out yesterday. I was playing and singing. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I woke up this morning. I was like, no, it needs to be this one and this tuning. And I trust that. I've been doing this for so long. I trust it. I don't argue with it. I go right in. Okay, we're changing this. Here we go.
That's so beautiful, actually. And it's a very key in these transitions that we're walking through, the element of trust. And that's what I see in you, Ashana, that the beauty of your soul and living in this world that's so rich in frequency, which I resonate with. The beauty of your soul is that you are capable of trusting and taking the steps. And this is where many falter.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I didn't think that G, the bowl, tuned to G would be the right bowl for today. And they question the intuition or the download. And this has a way of, first of all, it's a form of resistance, but also it has a way of shutting off the flow and of impacting not only the experience, but the prosperity that might be behind that experience, opening that door. So I love that. I'm acknowledging that the way that you've approached this work provides a template or a protocol for others, that it comes together in baby steps. The information is being provided. We need to listen and take action. And when the bliss comes, we know we've been aligned. Some new alignment has occurred. So, and in the frequency realm, it's very important to understand this one thing. Don't fight the flow. Just listen to the flow and listen to it in the body and receive it. So when Ashana's playing, we're actually receiving sound is information. So we're actually receiving the information that our soul or our being needs. That's why we're here listening. And if we can take that and move into that energy, this is synonymous with prosperity and abundance. And it's the opposite of scarcity. When you can receive the information, flow with it, and act, you are now living an expanded lifestyle, and it will convert into prosperity in time. So this is what I love about your journey, is that, first of all, it's very visual, even though it's sound. So we can see what you've created on a visual level. But also the frequencies, I can actually feel them coming off the bowls and off of your being. Like you have internalized these very celestial frequencies, and it has created your sound body in a way that is, first of all, amazing, but secondly, really uplifting for everyone around you. So this is a second point. You have to be willing to receive and hear, but also embody. And that's how I see you. You're embodying the crystal bowls. You've actually reached that point of your evolution. So you have merged, or, yoga is about is union. So you've merged with the energy field that's emanating, and you can see it's a beautiful energy field, and she's a beautiful woman. So congratulations. You are actually walking the walk and amplifying the frequencies of upliftment through your work and through your audiences. So the question is, so I just did it was a bit of a download, and this is where I see New Earth going. So I'm going to ask you now, where do you see the New Earth going? Where do you feel in your heart that we are walking in abandon, in letting go of scarcity, letting go of fear, letting go of fight, flight, freeze? Where do you see us evolving?
A few weeks ago.
Oh, it just felt this lift up.
A few weeks ago, I was in the bowl temple.
The bowl temple.
The big bowl temple.
Quantum bowl temple.
Getting bowls for my clients and
Concerts.
stocking the store, the online store for that. And my husband put this bowl in my hand, and there's this amazing bowl with this etching of whales on it.
Mm.
I'll show you. Can you see it?
Oh, I do.
Here.
I do see it.
And I put this.
Oh, I just love that.
I was guided to put this set of about 4 bowls together with one that I have here and already existing, and create this sonic field of the consciousness of whales. And when I played that sound, I started sobbing. It was like a memory of earth consciousness when all was connected, but connected in such a way that the joy and love of one is the joy and love of all, and the suffering of one is the suffering of all.
Mm.
And so there is such a keen awareness of the relationship of the oneness of all things, all beings, all consciousness. And I think we are taking ourselves to the very edge of that level of suffering and separation, because it is happening now on such a massive global scale.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you turn, you can see it. The isolation, the depression, the anxiety, the violence, the divisiveness. It's like we're right on that edge, because consciousness of that old consciousness is like saying, how far can you take this before you will let go?
Mm.
And in the letting, and the question is like, how do you let go? One of my wonderful mentors, Brooke Still, who I've been working with for many, many years, she was working with me one day and she said, how do you let go?
Mm.
And she had taken it deep inside of herself. And she said, the only way to let go is to let go. You can't think it through. You can't make it happen. It's the place where you've got the pencil in your hand and you're thinking, I gotta let go. I gotta let go. I gotta let go. I gotta let go. And it's a place where, I don't want to hit a bowl, but you just finally, you just go like that. You let go. And I believe we are at this precipice, or in the collective, of learning to let go. And when we let go, as we let go, we walk into this consciousness of the whales. And I think of the whales because there was an event not long ago where 400 and some odd whales beached off the coast of New Zealand, and people were frantic. They were trying to save them. They put them back in the water, but the whales would come back and they would beach themselves. And it's because one whale was in trouble, and they all came to help, and they all got stuck because they couldn't get out. And as more and more got stuck, more and more came to help. And we, in our consciousness, could not relate to that. Oh, it's just one whale, leave it. You'll hurt yourself, so don't go there. But that consciousness of whale is that if one is hurting, we are all here to help. We're all here to help.
It's beautiful. That's
At some point in time in our collective consciousness, we are going to hit the place where we go, we're here to help.
We're here to help. I love that. I love that. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the portal. That's the place where we are right now. And that's the doorway we need to step through.
Beautifully said. It's so true, and exactly the moment in time where we realize it is time to just let go of the entire falsehood. And it's permeated our reality in such a deep and profound way. We're continually letting go because we're embedded in it in a sense, or somehow in the hologram, we're intricately kind of woven into it. And my feeling is it's why we take these times to share with each other and with our communities, that this process of letting go is going deeper and deeper into all of us. So those that are here as healers or way showers or mentors, this is getting so deep that it's happening almost instantly.
Yeah.
And do you feel it's because there's an agreement amongst a certain ones of us that we came together to let this go so that we could build something new, sort of like deconstructing a physical structure?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I totally do. I totally feel that, because when I meet like other sound practitioners or energy healing vibrational practitioners, what I see more than anything else, and people coming to me because they want to bring the bowls into their lives, or people coming to me to study, or people coming to me for the music or whatever, it's like they say the same thing. They use the same words. It's like what was that movie with Richard Dreyfuss? Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Close Encounters.
Like that. They come and they go, it feels like a calling, they say to me. Something's calling me. The sound is calling me. They use identical words. And then they say to me, oh, I know you'll think I'm crazy. They always say that.
I know you'll think I'm crazy. Yes.
Or maybe you'll think this is silly, but I'm feeling a calling. It's like I have to play these instruments. I have to do sound. I have to use my voice. I have to do this. And I look at them and I go, you're about the third person who said this to me today.
I love it.
Right? And they all think it's like all of them, they all think it's like some super unique, where they feel isolated inside of this. And I was saying to a young woman yesterday who was talking to me about using the awakening of her own voice. And I looked at her and I just said, honey, welcome to the tribe.
Yes.
And that was it, because she thought that what was happening to her voice was really strange. And actually, there were two of them back to back, seriously, yesterday, back to back, both my students. Well, you'll think this is really strange, or, I'm afraid of this. I'm ashamed of this, and this is what wants to come through, and I need to do this. I must do this. And my response to this is, you're fine. You're exactly where you need to be. Welcome to the tribe.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Because that's what we're here to do. This is, it can't be just one of us.
No, it has to be millions.
Millions, maybe billions of us, just, like with the whales, with the song of the whales. This is what we came to do. We came to swim together.
We did.
We have a big job to do. This earth is in a crisis point. And humanity is at a crisis point because it has the opportunity to let go of the old paradigms, of the suffering, of the violence, of the divisiveness, of the separation. We've pulled that egoical sense of separation as far as we can take it. How many more times do we need to kill each other over and over and over and over again, lifetime after lifetime? Have you got it yet? I actually wrote a song about this like years and years and years ago, where the first line of the song was, "Oh, I've been murdered at least 1,000 times, oh, let me count the ways." And it was, I did.
Not letting that bother me anymore, though.
But it was
It's not.
hilarious.
I
It was
love it.
actually a hilarious song, and because I was looking at it from that place, it's like, well, how many times do we need to do this? Are we done yet?
Redundancy of it all. It's so true. The redundancy of these lower level patterns is right, and the creation of so much suffering is truly outstanding, actually, in a way. So, it is, it's so repetitive, and yet, and I love this about you, Ashana, just shifting the frequency. Someone was listening to a bowl concert with you, Ashana. They're not going to kill someone.
No.
It's going to shift them. And it's our point here that we have these tools, and now we're remembering the knowledge, which is that the use of sound and vibration can be used to shift anything in a second, and shift state, shift consciousness, shift desires, shift everything. You can feel so complete, which is why often musicians are very non-materialistic, because they get completed by the sound and the frequency. But I want to, I'd love for you actually to share a little more, now that we have defined the issue, which is, in my humble opinion, we've reached the gateway or the bridge to let go of the falsehood of the illusion of scarcity. Would you enjoy doing a second concert now or later where we actually create that intention and meditate together as a way to complete the conversation? Does that feel good to you?
We can do that. We can do like it. I would love that, because I would love that everybody listening,
okay,
just holds in a really gentle space inside of yourself.
Okay.
It's like from the bottom of my heart, just like, let's just close our eyes right now.
Okay, let's take a journey. I'm going to sit right where you're comfortable.
Let's just take a journey for a few minutes. And wherever you are, just bring yourself into a comfortable place. You can sit, you can lie down. Just close your eyes. And give your body and your spirit, your mind, just the space here to relax. Let your jaw relax. Let your eyes relax. Bring your awareness all the way down to your feet. And feel the bottoms of your feet and your toes. Feel the place where the sides of your feet touch the earth, or whatever surface you're on, the floor, a carpet, chair, the bed. And imagine now that you can feel the emptiness of space. the other leg too. Imagine there's a beautiful shimmering diamond of light right below your navel, just resting in your abdomen. Just begin watching your breath, because as you breathe in, this diamond light grows brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. With every exhalation, it grows brighter still. You breathe in that light, that diamond light. Just becomes more brilliant and more beautiful. And you imagine now that there's a beam of light that extends from the center of that diamond light, and it goes straight up into your heart. And now your heart and that diamond light are breathing together. You are just breathing in light, and you are exhaling light in this gentle, exquisite in and out. This flow of light. And feeling this spaciousness emerge behind your heart. As your heart becomes illumined with light. And from this place, feel a gathering of a company of angelic beings and celestial forms standing all around you. And their fingers are full of light and rays of light in every color you can imagine. And that light is radiating and permeating every part of your being. And your cells all the way down to the most minute particle. Are shimmering with light. You're breathing in that light, and as you exhale, little tiny vapors and pieces of thoughts places where you put your attention for so long that just aren't working anymore. They're just beginning to dissolve like smoke, like a cloud. The more light you breathe in, the more colors from these beautiful celestial beings, the more your body and your spirit fill with this rainbow light. You just watch these old forms dissolve and float away. I am peace. I am the rainbow light of divine love in all its forms. I am transcendent wholeness. I am beauty. I am the sweetness of divine love. I am forgiveness. I am trust. I am Breathing in, bringing your awareness back to your breath. Feeling these frequencies just permeating every part of you in every single way. Remembering that you are divine light, you are love, you are at your very essence and core a creation of the divine creator. You are part and parcel of love, and never forget that. And as you breathe, imagine yourself expanding into that love and feeling the richness of an abundant universe that is filled to overflowing with possibility and potential of the highest frequencies of light, kindness, compassion, wisdom, joy, bliss, contentment, health, and wholeness. You are that. The essence of that lives and is alive in every cell of your body. And every frequency of this lives inside of you. I am light. I am divine possibility awakening now. I am.
Wow. I feel, no wonder we're wearing white. I feel such a profound peace. But what I experienced I traveled the timeline into the ancient times, and I can feel each frequency. And we have worked in multiple temples doing our magic, doing our energy and sound healing. So this is the state that Ashana is sharing. It is an elevated state that can be traveled to quite easily. And once you do that, you're going to want to let go. You're going to want to let go of the clutter, the crowdedness, the fear, the anxiety. And this is the true power of sound. It goes beyond. It goes beyond. And I could feel actually each frequency on even the surface of my skin, but it goes beyond words. It goes beyond intellectualizations of the knowledge of the change. And I want to conclude with the modalities that have been created. Many are based on the mental body. What we're presenting here is, some would call it woo-woo, but we're presenting through time the modalities that actually worked to free humanity. And it was actually the mind that shut down the third eye. It was actually during Plato's time. So I want to invite you to partake in Ashana's work as a way to move into another very pure state of frequency that has no mind, and it doesn't even need to let go, because once you elevate, it kind of falls away. Mm-hmm. And I want to thank you, Ashana, for you are sharing an ancient intervention that is nothing short of miraculous and powerful and impactful. And as we all evolve and progress, there'll be many millions that will go to you for this type of elevation. So I want to invite you you are part of our tribe. I want to invite you to be part of our tribe, and thank you so much. I feel you've gone beyond words, but if you'd like to share some words, there is a link below to reach out to Ashana and She's very busy with concerts and clients, but there's a link below. And please feel free to work with her, to find your space and your frequency. And if you want to share some words, and if you don't, it's fine as well. We've gone into the wordless state. So I want to thank you for being with us today and sharing this immense wisdom. It has touched my heart, and I feel your work will resonate in the hearts, to awaken the hearts of millions, if not billions, of those that understand that the time is now, the tribe is here, the sound is here. Join us. You'll never regret this. I promise. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Helena.